Hey everyone, it's Aislinn here. Welcome back to my channel if you are returning, and welcome if you are new. This is like my 8th time trying to film this video. Let's see if I can actually get through it. Okay, so first video of 2023 is February, and I have no idea where the last 3 months since my last video have gone. I know I've posted on my crafting channel. Thought I'd posted over here. Apparently not. So, oh well. Yeah. Anyway, my first video of 2023 is going to be a bit of a self-read-a-thon. So basically I will be reading for however long I have left tonight before I go to bed, to all day tomorrow. And the books that I will be reading are The House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. I have digital copies of all these, so I'll post pictures. And that one I am halfway through already, and I would like to finish it by tomorrow. So that's the first one. After that, in no particular order, Rise of the Ranger by Philip Quintrell. This was recommended to me by a colleague at work. We have very similar reading tastes, and she says if you love snarky characters with a lot of banter, then that is an excellent series. So I thought, you know what, I'll give it a try. I'm always on the lookout for a new author and a new fantasy series. Then probably my most anticipated read for the beginning half of the year, episode 13 by Craig DeLuey. I read a synopsis of this. Actually, I think it was back in October, because I ended up pre-ordering it because it was released in January. My intention was to start it in January. That did not happen, so I'd like to read it now. And it's kind of a ghost hunter sort of thing, and they are filming episode 13, and something went wrong. And what happened? We don't know. It sounds like it might be a little bit Stephen King, a little bit Blair Witch Project. Right up my alley for my type of horror, so give that a shot. And then the final book, I hope to at least start, will be Shadow in the Ember by Jennifer L. Armentrout. So yeah, that is the plan, and I will see you guys in the next clip, which for me will be a few hours and for you will be a few seconds. Bye. Okay, well, first update. I did not get as many hours reading in last night as I had hoped, so Read-a-thon kind of started this morning instead. I think I got like a half hour in last night and then fell asleep. So, but I have read like 3 hours this morning now. I am now about 80% through The House of Earth and Blood. It is getting really good. I was beginning to wonder where things were going. It kind of lagged a little bit there in the middle. Don't really want to talk too much about it because I don't want to give spoilers away, because it is at its heart a mystery, and right now I'm not sure if what has happened is a red herring or if this is truly what is going on. It seems a little too neat for a mystery, but yeah, so really loving it. I do have book 2. I'm going to see how I feel when it ends. I may switch up my TBR and start book 2 right away, or I might wait and do that tomorrow or the next day. But it's definitely, book 2 is going to be read pretty much right away. Yeah, so that's it for this update. I will see you guys in the next clip, where hopefully I will be done The House of Earth and Blood. Okay, so I have finally finished House of Earth and Blood. That is a really good book, and I cannot wait to jump into book 2. However, I've decided that I'm going to stick to my TBR. So the next one I'm going to pick up is episode 13. Yeah, that's pretty much where that is. House of Earth and Blood. There were so many little twists and turns, and I'm not going to lie, I shed a tear a couple of times, especially in that last, like, I want to say 100 pages or so. That is my puppy, so I better go check on her, and then I will jump into episode 13, and I will let you know once I'm into it a couple of hours what I think of it. And I will be right back. Okay, so I have read about the first 50 pages of episode 13, and I'm actually going to move on to another book. I like the story. So far I'm liking the characters. And the first 50 pages was just like introducing everyone and their backgrounds and kind of give you a feel for the show. That squeaking is my puppy. She wants attention. Basically, it's the writing... Really? One sec. Okay, I threw her squeaky toy, so now she'll be a little bit quieter. She's off in the hallway. She's 6 months old tomorrow, so she's still very young. Anyway, back to Fade to Black. The writing style, I'm not sure I like. It's told, like, through transcripts, news articles, journals. It's not... Yeah. And this writing style can work. I think it's called the Illuminary Files. It's been a few years since I read it, but there was a YA sci-fi that was done very similarly, which I really enjoyed, and I've actually read it twice now. So I know the format can work for me, but for some reason it's not really working for this particular book. So could just be the mood I'm in. So for now, I'm going to put it down. And I'm going to pick up Rise of the Ranger instead, because maybe I am just in a fantasy mood and I need to not read a contemporary novel. So, not completely DNFing that one, but yeah. But for now, for the read-a-thon, it's going to be put down and I'm moving on. So I will see you guys in a couple more hours when I get some more read, this time in Rise of the Ranger, and let you know how this is going. And she's back. Hi, Ruru. Hang on. I'm going to show you my puppy. One moment. This adorable bundle of fur is our 6-month-old golden retriever poodle mix. Her name is Ruby. For those that have seen any of my previous videos, you might remember I had a boxer pointer mix by the name of Shelby. Shelby unfortunately passed away last year. Shelby was just under 13 and unfortunately had a brain tumor, which she had a seizure and passed. But then we picked up this little bundle of joy, and she's busy, very, very busy. So that's her introduction. Alright, it's been a couple of hours. I actually did not pick up Rise of the Ranger like I thought I would. I got a little sidetracked with puppy and dinner and a few chores that I thought I had done, but then realized, I still need to do that. So I decided to read Shadow in the Ember instead, simply because I have that in audiobook format, so I could still read and do the other things I needed to do, like taking care of my puppy and cooking dinner for the family and that stuff. So now that that's all done, I'm actually going to continue on with the Shadow in the Ember because I'm about 10 chapters in now, and am really, really liking it. So I'm going to continue on with that audiobook, and I will let you know more about what I think of it a little bit later. But for now, yeah, it's not quite what I thought it was. I kind of thought it was more of a Hades and Persephone sort of retelling, and it's definitely, I think, got some basis in that, because there's like god and goddesses of death and stuff, but it's definitely got a life of its own, and it's actually been pretty good. So I'm just going to continue on with that one until I get tired of listening to audiobook, and then I will swap over to physically reading Rise of the Ranger. But yeah, so that's the update for this one. This has now been a total of about 11 hours reading today, and that is, I actually accidentally reset my timer, so I had a more accurate time than that, and then I meant to hit resume and accidentally hit reset. But if I've done my manual calculations correctly for the math, it has been 11 hours that I've been reading today. So, yeah, I am going to end this clip, and I will be back a little bit closer to the midway point to let you know what I think of The Shadow and the Ember, and if it continues to hold my interest, or if I swap books because I get tired of listening to audio. Yeah. See ya. Okay, well, wrap up for yesterday. I read a total, sticky note here, I read a total of 14 hours, and a total of 673 pages. Now, 400 and some of that was The House of Earth and Blood, and then a friend of mine has the physical book for Shadow and the Ember, so she was able to calculate, based off where I left off in the audiobook, how many books I had read, or pages I had read for that book, and that was around 221, and then of course the 50 pages of episode 13, which, looking back in my other video, I realized, or other clip, sorry, I called Fade to Black. That's the show in the book. That's not the name of the book. So, episode 13 is the one I read 50 pages of. I did start Rise of the Ranger this morning, and I got about 20 pages in. I'm not going to include it as part of the Read-a-thon's reading, however, though, just because, brain. I started it this morning, which technically was after my readathon, because the readathon was yesterday. But I mention it because I am loving it so far. Starts off with a real bang and then just keeps going from there. So it's definitely a series that I think I'm going to follow. I can tell you already, with like the 20-some pages that I read, that it's really good. So I don't know if it'll stay that way. That's a little early to make a judgment on the whole series, but for now, I'm definitely going to keep it, as my physical book, and then continue on Shadow and the Ember for my audiobook, for when I need an audiobook to listen to. And that is pretty much where this is. So I am going to end this video here, and I will see you guys in the next update video. Whenever that will be. I don't have a schedule. Okay. Bye.